Hi, my name is Dr. Eric Smith, and I am a self-help junkie. This video series is my confession. I started actively looking into self-help products when I was 12 years old, and over the course of the next 30 years, I spent thousands of dollars on self-help books, seminars, videos, DVDs, and coaching. I practiced the law of attraction, creative visualization, positive affirmations. I thought, and yet still grew poor. I took ropes challenge courses and endless sessions of goal setting. I'm even a certified firewalk instructor. And while all that money was well spent, it did not help me to overcome the core issues which limit the action that I was willing to take to improve my life. That did work, however, to make me feel better while I languished in my own mediocrity. I'm here to share with you what happened to me when I realized that pretty much all of the self-help products on the market are just recycled propaganda and wishful thinking that emerged in our culture around 1902. You see, after trying system after system and keep having the same problems, in fact, my problems even got worse to the point where I was disillusioned, heartbroken, and even suicidal. Problems with money, problems with food, problems with health, problems with sex, problems with relationships, problem with engaging with the world without being controlling and manipulative, they all had domination over me. I believe that our lack of success all stems from our core relationship to human fundamentals. We all need food and health. We all need relationships and sexual relationships. We all need money and power. Consequently, self-help systems are constantly being focused on our relationships to food, sex, and money, or a combination of the three. They seem to promise you that you'll be able to have a seven-figure income while working 4 hours a day, or a week even, and have the body and health of a pro athlete, which will be good as you attract your soulmate for endless nights of passion. You'll have power, you'll have clarity, you'll have the ability to manifest your dreams instantaneously simply by focusing your thoughts. Sounds great. Who doesn't want some of that? Well, I have a question for you. If the secrets of happiness and of manifestation and of success have been revealed over 100 years ago, then wouldn't self-help be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Wouldn't self-help industry put itself out of business? Hardly. Americans spent $11 billion on self-help products in 2008, and the annual sales growth has been 6.5% each year since then. Like many, I kept buying the story that with hard work and positive focus, I could achieve my dreams. But what I found was the harder I tried, the more I failed. And the more I questioned myself. And I questioned myself rather than questioning the systems and whether or not they actually worked. Slowly, I started to realize that maybe it wasn't me, but the self-help systems that were flawed. They failed to help me overcome the core issue, which limits the actions that I was willing to take to improve my life. Once I realized what this core issue is, what was missing from all of them, and now I'm here to share it with you today. Before I do, I'd like you to think for a minute about what success really is. Is success a healthy body and control over your physical body? Is success a relationship with a soulmate? Is success money or money in the bank or an empowered lifestyle? Most self-help products only focus on one aspect of success. But if you're like me, then you're thinking that success should be holistic, a combination of all of these things. I don't believe that success can be achieved by studying a fragment and ignoring the whole. When I did that, yes, one area of my life got better, but often at the expense of another. Ultimately, success is the achievement of goals, and you have to take action to do that. And more importantly, it's the alignment of oneself with a higher purpose and cause. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to have a healthy marriage and the ability to be real and being connected with people in relationships. I wanted financial security and abundance. Yet these things alone are hollow without a higher purpose. Let me ask you a question. Isn't the equality of your relationships to food, sex, and money a higher purpose in itself? Isn't being healthy and self-defined in a world that promotes dysfunction and pain at every turn a purpose? Isn't saying no, it stops with me, I am choosing love over fear, pride over shame, and forgiveness over anger a purpose. For when you do that, you become a person of power and character. You can start to apply your resources and skill to whatever social cause you want to align yourself with. Without that clarity, it is frustrating, and I felt like I was constantly putting out fires, which in truth my own distractions had created. The central point of most self-help products is that positive thinking, coupled with internal actions such as visualization and affirmation, will lead to success. We're told that when we do this, that the path of physical manifestation of our desires will be spontaneous and easy. Well, if that sounds too good to be true, it's because it is. Changing on the inside is great, but it didn't help me to overcome the core issues which limit the actions we're willing to take. I immediately thought that there was something wrong with me, and that I needed to fix something inside of me in order to affect and change what was on the outside of me. I was actually addicted to this thought. I was a self-help junkie. You'd find me on the street corner begging for affirmations as people walked by. I would ask strangers to visualize with me. I would go across town to score the latest secret system that would magically transform my hopes, desires into a reality. And guess what? It didn't work. So when I step back and I look at the materials I had been studying over the course of years, what became apparent to me is they all have similar characteristics and still fail to overcome the core issue which limits the actions we're willing to take to improve our lives. Before I share that core issue with you, let me talk for a minute about the common characteristics of self-help systems. Most self-help systems are developed, marketed, and sold by people who are naturally extroverts. They are highly competitive, oftentimes having even an athletic mindset. They need to be seen. They need to win. Life is divided into a game of success and failure with each encounter. Natural achievers write the books and then sell their system to the people who don't have the same competitive spirit. Telltale signs of this are stories of overcoming hardship and adversity and achieving success in one area of life, such as financial, physical, or relationship, and then applying or achieving success everywhere else. We're told that by doing what they did, that we will get what they got. And while you may buy their system, you can't buy their extroverted nature, you can't buy their competitive mindset, their social circumstances, their body type, and life aptitude. You are still you. And you are looking for tools and strategies and techniques to make your life better. These trainings is oftentimes the use of liberal inspirational music such as the Rocky theme, Eye of the Tiger, or We Are the Champions. There's oftentimes the heavy use of sports and financial metaphors in the form of inspirational videos and success quotes by success celebrities. My estimate is that these folks with that extroverted competitive spirit make up about 10% of the population. And regardless of the arena, whether it be financial, physical, or sports, these folks think like an athlete. They anticipate failure, and when they do fail, and they will, they almost immediately get up and do it again. They just call it practice. If you fall into this category and you're happy with your state of life, then right size right now isn't really the best match for you. But if you're like me, and you think that success should be holistic, self-defined, and aligned with a higher purpose, and if you want more, then let's move forward. Most self-help systems are driven by desire and adrenaline. You look in the mirror one day and you realize that enough is enough. You got to change how you feel, how you look, so you start that diet. Most people start a diet and they stick with it for a week and then start to cheat on it. They realize that diet is die with a T at the end. And that's exactly what they feel like. They're dying, even when they're physically getting healthier. This is because food is first an emotional experience and then an intellectual experience. Once you cheat, you feel like a failure. You feel shame. You reject yourself as being weak, and you feel the judgment of others, feeling that they will reject you for being overweight. Our fear of rejection is the governing force that affects our ability to have successful relationships. Those that really can be social relationships and sexual relationships. For example, your ability to make a sexual advance in a healthy way is dictated by your fear of rejection. Your ability to have a deep and connected conversation with another human being, to be real, to be vulnerable, to be honest, is dictated by your fear of rejection. Human beings need relationships. They need sexual relationships and they need connected relationships. Yet our fear of rejection causes most of us to try and control those relationships, leaving them superficial, painful, and dysfunctional. In regards to money, most of your money problems would be solved, you think, if you just had more of it. Well, why don't you just make more money? Well, for example, any salesperson knows in order to make a certain number of sales, you have to make calls to sell your product. The salesperson with that competitive spirit laced with a little adrenaline barely notices each rejection because they are focused on the goal of making the sale. Does that sound like you? Intellectually, you may say yes, but 90% of you will get stuck in the emotional response to the rejection. For 90% of us, when we make a call and we get rejected, we immediately feel a barrage of negative emotions. We feel stress, we feel anxiety, we feel like a failure, we wonder why life has to be so hard, and then we turn to seek relief from our feelings in the form of, gosh, I wonder what's in the refrigerator, or I gotta go home and turn the TV on, or God, I need a drink. Okay? We seek relief from our feelings by doing something that removes ourselves from our negative emotions. You do this long enough and you perpetuate addiction and a victimized state. Our ability to deal with negative emotions in effective and empowering ways is the core issue which limits the action we're willing to take to improve our lives. This is the missing piece that self-help systems fail to teach. Holistic success is about being able to face adversity, rejection, fear of failure, being able to deal with those emotions in healthy ways that builds esteem and resiliency within all areas of your life. We stop being fragmented. We stop feeling like victims. We stop denying our emotions. What I teach is not how to be a victim to your own emotional reactions, but rather effective tools for dealing with them in the context of keeping them right size in perspective as quickly and as efficiently as possible. In other words, right now. My work will benefit you if you are one of the many people who have bought a book or a seminar or a CD, or you've gone through some training or some coaching, yet you're still not satisfied with the results. My work is not based on the false promise that you can transcend your emotions, avoid your emotions, or change your emotions with the application of fantasy and adrenaline, but rather a revolutionary and highly efficient way of dealing with your feelings, learning to respect yourself as a whole, and to move forward in your life with grace and dignity. If you realize that there is no way that you can avoid the fact that you are an intellectual, emotional, and spiritual as well as physical being, and you want to achieve holistic success that is self-defined and aligned with your higher purpose, then welcome home.